Very good morning and welcome to AthavanNews.com. Today is Saturday, 28th of November 2015. Today's paper highlights read by Edward Udedas Devasagayam Pillai. Now let's move to paper highlights on Daily Mirror. The top story says Mohammed Sham murder case, death sentence for Was Gunawardena, son for others. Former DIG Was Gunawardena, his son Ravindu and 4 police officers were sentenced to death by trialite bar judges Lalit Jayasuriya, Amanda Senabiratna and Kusala Sarojini Veerawardena at Colombo High Court yesterday. Sham's father says Was is innocent. Mohammed Dean, who identified himself as the father of slain businessman Mohammed Sham, yesterday claimed that former DIG Was Gunawardena had no connection with his son's murder. Maithripala Sirisena to be nominated for Nobel Peace Prize. President Maithripala Sirisena is to be nominated for the 2016 Nobel Peace Prize, a government minister informed Parliament yesterday. His initiative to form a national government with members of the 2 main parties is being considered as one of the main reasons. Another highlight says on Daily Mirror, bird hits Sri Lankan flight at Trichy. Sri Lankan airline flight UL131 from Colombo to Trichy was hit by a bird while landing at the Trichy airport on Thursday morning. Bribery files 5 cases against Johnston. The Bribery Commission yesterday filed 5 cases against former Minister Johnston Fernando for his failure to declare assets and liabilities from 2010 to 2014. The minister had failed to declare his assets and liabilities for 5 years from 2010 to 2014 and a case has been filed for each year. Commonwealth elects first woman Secretary General. Baroness Patricia Scotland from the UK was elected Secretary General of Commonwealth at the Commonwealth Summit in Malta by leaders of the 53-nation bloc. Rethink on certain tax proposals. In the wake of widespread protest over some of the budgetary proposals, such as the increase in the fees for vehicle emission tests, the government is contemplating amending the fees during the budget debate, Daily Mirror learns. Accepting bribe of 2.5 million rupees. Narayanpeta crimes OIC nabbed by bribery sleuths. In a shocking turn of events, the officer in charge of the crime branch of the Narayanpeta police was arrested by bribery commission officials while allegedly accepting a bribe of 2.5 million rupees from a businessman yesterday. Sub-Inspector Hetiara Chilage Dontisasri was nabbed by a special bribery commission team while accepting the money from a businessman on the Kohuwala Kalabovila Main Road in Kohuwala around 3 p.m. yesterday. Students alleged suicide. Northern schools closed as preventive measure. All Tamil medium schools in the north were closed yesterday on a directive by the Provincial Ministry of Education. Now let's move to paper highlights on Daily News. President tells Chogam 2015 in Malta, we share common values that bind us together. President Maithripala Sirisena, the outgoing chair in office of the Commonwealth, said Sri Lanka was extremely satisfied with the role it played in achieving the organization's collective goals within the past 2 years. 2 years ago, when we met in Sri Lanka, we agreed that achieving growth with equity and inclusivity must be the main concerns of the Commonwealth. We also noted that promoting sustainable development with required intensified efforts both nationally and internationally, he said. I am further pleased to note that the United Nations also has given priority to sustainable development goals, meaning integrating our efforts with the United Nations, the President, who addressed the opening ceremony of Chogam yesterday, said. President Sirisena also added that the youth was the foundation of prosperity and the Magampura Declaration, released 2 years ago, was a manifestation of this understanding. We welcomed the establishment of the Commonwealth Youth Council and Sri Lanka was pleased to host the first Commonwealth Youth Council meeting, he said. The President said that trade and investment played a vital role in achieving Commonwealth economic goals. The Commonwealth is the home to a population of over 2 billion people. A majority of them live in developing and least developed members' countries. Uplifting their living standards should be our short-term goal, medium-term goal and long-term goal. We recognize that trade and investment play an important role in employment generation, poverty reduction and advancing economic prosperity. President Maithripala Sirisena, Malta's Prime Minister Joseph Muscat, Queen Elizabeth II and Commonwealth Secretary General Kamlesh Sharma at the opening ceremony of the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting at the Mediterranean Conference Centre in Valletta yesterday. In the highlight on Daily News, Mohammed Shah murder, death sentence for DIG was 5 others. No confidence against Ravi. The no confidence motion against Finance Minister Ravi Karunanayake was handed over to Speaker Karu Jayasuriya with 44 signatures of common opposition parliamentarians yesterday evening. Sources said that Matara District NB Dallas Alagaperuma handed over the motion. In it, they alleged that the minister had manipulated figures relating to the allocations made to the education sector to mislead the president and parliament. Government has to pay 400 billion rupees for previous regime's construction projects. Prime Minister, the government is faced with the task of paying 400 billion rupees for construction projects undertaken by the previous government, said Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe yesterday. He also said that the government would bring the matter before Parliament to decide on how to find this amount. Many buildings were constructed at various places, including temple trees. Complaint against Avangard Company Chairman, CID records 3 ministers' statements. A special CID team yesterday recorded lengthy statements from Ministers Rajitha Senaratne, Arjuna Ranatunga and Patali Chombika Ranawaka over their complaint against Avangard Company Chairman Nisanga Senathipati. Police said the CID recorded statements for over 2 hours from each minister over this issue. The 3 ministers requested Inspector General of Police N.K. Ilangakon to probe the allegations levelled at them by Senathipati. The ministers added that they never sought funds from the Avangard chairman for their political activities. Senathipati had claimed that the ministers had tried to extort money from him and he had enough evidence to prove his allegations. Thanks for listening to AthavanNews.com. We will come tomorrow with more news.